Lesson 6-8, Expressing and Interpreting Remainders. The main focus of this lesson is for you to solve a division number story and decide, what do I do with that remainder? I want you to be able to rewrite those remainders as fractions, and I want you to look at multiple ways to interpret remainders. Finally, in the end, you should be able to solve number stories while interpreting remainders. All right, I want you to look at the fractions on this page, and I want you to think to yourself, thumbs up if they're equivalent, and thumbs down if they're not. So is 1/2 and 2/4 equivalent? Hopefully you went 2 times 2 is 4, and 1 times 2 is 2, so that's a thumbs up. 1/4 and 25/100. Well, 4 times 25 is 100, and 1 times 25 is 25. So another thumbs up. 5 times 2 is 10. Oh, but 1 times 2 is not 3. So that's a thumbs down. And 10 times 10 is 100. But 1 times 10 is not 20. So that's another thumbs down. Keep practicing those multiplication facts because they're really going to help you. Read this to yourself as I read it out loud. It says, 3 students have 13 sticks of gum. How many sticks of gum does each student get if they receive equal shares? And then I want you to be prepared to discuss your strategy. Well, one way that I would like to do this is I would start to draw 3 circles for my 3 students. And I have 13 pieces of gum. So I'm going to start giving each student a piece of gum. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can give them another one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, well, I can't give them all another one, so I'm going to have 1 left over. So what is my answer? Well, all 3 students, they will receive each square, will get 4 sticks of gum. And I'm just going to write sticks so I don't take up your time. What am I going to do with that 1 stick that's left over? Well, it kind of depends on what we're going to do with it. Should we ignore it? You know what? We're not going to ignore it, because I know if I draw a stick of gum and if I get out a ruler, I could actually break that into 3 equal pieces, and I could give each student another third. So now each student is going to get 4 1/3 sticks of gum. They are all equivalent. Thank you for not judging me too harshly on having perfect sized pieces of gum. But that is how you would solve that problem. Let's look at another problem. It says, 3 children wish to divide 16 toy cars equally. What is each child's share? Well, there's a couple different ways we could do this. So I'm going to draw a line down the middle here to show you one way and then another. First, we could draw, again, 3 children. So my children this time are going to be circles again. And they're not very pretty circles, so sorry for that. 16 toy cars. Well, I can give him 1, this one 1, 1, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and when I cross it across like that, I know that's a group of 5, 14, 15, and there's 1 left over. So each student is going to get 5 cars. So my answer is, what is each child's share? I would write 5, and then I would write cars, because that's the units after it. But what am I going to do with that 1 that's left over? Can I divide it into 3 equally? No. So I'm just going to have to ignore it since there is no way to divide it up. There is another way to do that though. I could do 16 divided by 5. How many groups of 5 go into 16? Well, 3. I multiply back. 3 times 5 is 15. And there's my remainder, 1. So each person would get, and I messed that up, I'm sorry. Did you notice what I did? I put divided by 5. There were not 5 children. There were 3 children. So my 3 should have been on this side. So 3 goes into 16 5 times. And again, when I multiply back, I get the same 15. So my answer is 5 cars. But since I can't divide this one up, that's simply my answer, 5. So for each number story, you need to draw a picture, write a number model with a letter for the unknown. Use a division algorithm to solve the problem, a division method. Decide what to do about the remainder. Can I split it evenly amongst those who are left, or no, am I just going to have to ignore it? And then record the answer and write a number model with the answer. There really aren't any shortcuts to this. So it says, again, this on page 209. You can pause the recording now if you want to turn to page 209, but make sure you do each one of these before you do it. 209 and Math Journal page 210 are the assessment check-ins. I am going to do one with you to make sure you've had enough practice, and I'm going to show you how to walk through it. So, Jackson is buying balloons for a party. Balloons cost $6 per bunch. How many bunches can he buy with $75? Well, first it tells me to draw a picture. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a picture. Well, balloons. Again, I'm not going to have perfect circles here, but it says each bunch costs $6. So there's one bunch, $6. 2 bunches, $12. 3 bunches, $18. 4 bunches, $24. 5 bunches, 6 bunches. I did that because I know 6 plus 6 is 12. So instead of writing 6 every time now, I can write 12, which only gets me up to $36. I'm going to need quite a bit yet. How many bunches is it going to take me to get to 6? Oh, well, it's going to take me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because 6 times 6 is 36. And I know that because I've studied my multiplication facts. So I just drew that, and if I add 36 together, I come up with 72. I know that's not 75, but it asked me how many bunches can he buy. I can't buy another bunch with only the $3 difference between 72 and 75, so I know that's all I'll be able to get. My number model was, well, I had $75, and I knew I was going to have to divide it by 6 to get how many bunches, so I'm going to make the unknown a B for bunches. My answer was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bunches. Let's go down. Number model with the answer was actually $75 divided by 6 now equals 12. What did I do with the remainder? Well, I can't report it as a fraction, or I could, and I'm not going to round up the answer. I'm going to ignore it. Why? Because the $3 left isn't enough to buy another bunch. So that's what you'd write. $3 is not enough to buy another bunch. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read the rest of these. If you don't need them read to you, I want you to pause the recording now, and I want you to finish page 209 and 210 and bring it up to me when you are done. Thank you. For those of you who need me to read the next one, here we go. Rosa is buying boxes to hold all 128 of her DVDs. Notice it says all. Each box holds 5 DVDs. How many boxes are needed to store all of her DVDs? So you're going to need to draw the boxes, and there's 5 in a box, and put the number 5 in them. When you complete that, you're doing a number model with an unknown. I would use how many boxes. I would use B as your unknown. Then you're going to put the answer here. Then you're going to put the number model with the answer on this line. And then I want you to decide, what did you end up doing with that remainder? Did you ignore it? Did you report it as a fraction? Or did you round the answer up? And then explain to me why you did what you did. Pause the recording now, and again, you can always rewind it and figure the answer to this problem out. Once I have checked Math Journal page 209 and 210 as an assessment check-in, I want you to do Math Journal page 211. It says, draw the next shape in the pattern. So it's showing you here one shape, and then it's showing you here how many other shapes it made. Find the pattern and finish that. I want you to be able to describe, though, the rule you use to extend the pattern so that it's correct. Number 2 asks you to extend the number pattern 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. What would be the next number? You're going to have to figure out, how did 1 become 4? And then what'd you do to 4 to become 9? And then what'd you do to 9 to become 16? And so on. So you know what to do to finish it. Describe the rule you used to extend the pattern. Examine those number patterns in 2A up here. Write a rule involving multiplication to find these numbers. And what type of numbers are they? Remember, if you get stuck, there always is a little box up here where you can go look in your student reference book, page 58 to 61, to help you out. Pause the recording and do problem 1 and 2. Problem 3 says, extend this number pattern. 1 becomes 5, 5 becomes 12, 12 becomes 22. And again, describe the rule you used to extend that problem. Pause the recording now and do Math Journal page 211. Go up to the answer key and check your answers for Math Journal page 211. If you had any wrong, bring it back to me and I will further explain it. When you complete 211, do Math Journal page 212. And the final thing you will do is Math Masters page 241, which you will find in file 6-8. You can pause the recording now and be done with this unit, or listen as I read the directions on this page. Math Box 1 says fill in the blanks with greater than, less than, or equal to. Math Box 2 says use a straight edge, draw the other half of this symmetric shape. Math Box 3 tells you to fill in the chart. 4 says Justin had 150 baseball cards in his collection. It's 3